Hello everyone. I have good news and bad news first. So the bad news is I'm not Matteo Vallone, as you can see, and as you have been told. The good news is I do also work for Google Play. I'm a business development manager based in our London office, working for Google Play, covering Western Europe and EMEA. I'm with Google now for 7 years, so I've been with the company for a while. And today I'm very excited to talk to you about Daydream and how we see VR from a Google point of view. But first, let me go back to our mission statement. First things first. So, as you may know, our mission statement is to organize the world's information, make it universally accessible and useful. If we apply this to VR, we can rather expand this to say, organize the world experiences. We were talking about experiences and make them universally accessible and useful. And I will tell you later in this talk what this will be about. So this is where we are coming from a Google point of view. But before I talk about VR at Google, I would also like to point out some bits of history on VR. So I do also have some history charts in here, which are basically stating that VR isn't that new. You can see on the left a picture from a museum from the 1950s where a person was trying to basically escape to another world. And on the right side, you can see a device called ViewMaster, which was also meant to cover your entire vision and to immerse into another world. Arguably, the technology wasn't as good as today's. I think that's the good news. But still, the idea to mentally teleport yourself to somewhere else isn't that new. And it has been used also in many topics and circumstances, also like in theme parks. If you have been to Disney World, like some 10 years ago, it's not that new. But what is new, of course, is the technology. What is new is that we have now a mobile-first experience, an experience which is really, really strong in getting you into another world. And I guess just to check out, like the VR adoption here in this room. Who here in the room has tried out any VR device? Okay, good. You chose the right track. So here in the room has tried out Daydream. Okay, so some more room to increase our own product adoption for sure. But if you have tried out any VR device, you will know that once you will put up a device, your brain is really kind of tricked. And if you imagine you are on the edge of a surfboard and people are asking you to step off, you do not really want to step off, although you're actually like this guy, just with your both feet on the ground. So this is the real difference. So this is a bit of context on VR. What about VR and Google? We've come quite a long way, and our history on VR emerges from Cardboard. Cardboard was actually a 20% project from Google engineers, and this is how the very first prototype looked like. And back then, we experimented a bit. As you may know, this 20% project at Google is the chance where people devote 20% of their time into own initiatives and ideas. Gmail came out of this, Cardboard came out of this, and everybody was so excited at Google that we had it as a giveaway at Google I/O in 2014. So this is where we basically started. And Cardboard was quite successful in giving people a first glimpse of how VR could look like. We shipped more than 5 million Cardboard units. There are more than 2,000 apps optimized for Cardboard, 25 million installed, and only the watch time on YouTube is 350,000 hours. So it's quite strong, but of course that was just a first glimpse, a first try. And to make it quite popular, we had several partnerships like the New York Times, who offered their readers to explore the world, and so on and so forth. So this is where we are coming from. 2 years later at Google I/O, that was in May 2016, last year, we announced Daydream. So Daydream is our premium VR mobile platform. It is made for high-end smartphones, and the aim is to get like long-form immersive content which helps users and players to dive into another world. That's basically what the goal of Daydream is. And the beauty of Daydream, of course, is that compared to cardboard, we have developed our technology a bit further. Compared to cardboard, we are working with OEMs which are optimizing their phones for VR, because cardboard could have been used with many, many phones out there, but those phones were just made to be phones. The main difference for Daydream is that we are partnering with phones which are meant to show VR. And that's what we call the Daydream Ready standard. The Daydream Ready standard ensures that developers will have, you know, the right outcome of what they will develop for VR, and consumers will really, you know, have a good experience, you know, an experience which is as much frictionless as possible when they experience the content. And there are several indicators included for the standard, like low persistence display to ensure you have a high density of pixels. It's a nice graphic. High performance SoCs to create amazing experiences, leverage the power of great GPUs like the Qualcomm Snapdragon 820, and last but not least, high vision sensors to really ensure that, you know, whatever movement you do, whatever movie you make, that this is really translated into the experience as quickly as possible. So this is basically the standard we have set out to ensure you have a great VR experience when you use Daydream. And of course, moving forward this year, as we are partnering with many Android OEMs, we're looking forward to have more Daydream-ready phones in the market. Obviously, this all is supported with our latest and sweetest Android release, which is Android Nougat, which is basically optimizing the whole experience for Daydream developers and consumers. So, not everybody here in the room raised his or her hand when I was asking, have you tried out Daydream? So I will still show some pictures, how it looks like. Maybe everyone has seen it. The idea of Daydream is to have an affordable, easy, approachable device, which is not that bulky, which is easy to wear, and which is also, let's say, easy to try out. If you're at a party, you have that Daydream headset, so everybody wants just to give it a try. It's not that big thing of technology where people think, oh, I'm not sure if I should try it or not. You know, these moments exist, especially since we were talking about getting VR to the mass market. It's easy to put the phone or include the phone in the overall device. You barely get a headache. The only headache I got yesterday was when I was looking at the slide and actually looking at this slide for like 5 minutes or so. So hopefully it will be only like things like these. And also what's key is the remote control. So the remote control shall be used to basically upgrade the overall VR experience, because the remote control can be everything you can think of. It can be a weapon, it can be a tennis racket, or whatever the developer chooses it to be. And we think that the remote control can be utilized further than just like switching from menus. It's really up to developers to use the remote control in terms of the game design to think about, hey, how can we use this to have like the experience as immersive as possible. So this is the remote control. And just another picture. And it comes in 3 different colors. So in slate, snow, and crimson. So you can choose whatever color you like. But before I'm going on with selling a car or selling like Daydream headsets, I will talk a bit about how the overall interface looks like. Of course, the overall user interface and also the Play Store were meant to be as approachable as possible, because if our overall mechanics of the menu and the Play Store are not frictionless, then the overall experience for users is not that good. Hence, developers have less chances to provide, or to get installs. So this is how the overall menu looks like, and also the Play Store is as easy as possible. You can instantly install software, you can instantly purchase, and we are bringing the whole power of the Play Store to Daydream. So what is Daydream all about? there are three main purposes, so to say. One is we think Daydream is great for exploration. So as an example, with Google Street View, you can explore, your place for holidays, or if you want to rent a new flat, look if the street is nice or not. Then second, for movies and real lean-back experiences, so it's quite universal. In that terms, you do not need the remote control. But you might want to use the remote control for the third purpose, and I think that's what many people here in this room do care about, which is to play a game. When we launched Daydream, end of last year, we partnered with several app and game developers to have a strong content lineup. And for apps, we had, of course, some of our own, like Google Street View, but also we partners with a range of news publishers to bring their content to Daydream. And of course, we also work with a number of game developers, both from Europe and abroad, to bring one, familiar brands to the device, and two, of course, work with some VR-focused companies to help them getting their stuff on the device. So we had Need for Speed in there, Lego in there, but we also had different concepts like Wonderglade, which is a beautiful app to use, or Gunjack is probably the most favorite game in our London office. So if you want to try out Daydream, give Gunjack a try. That's just my personal opinion, of course. So this is how the lineup looked like at start. Of course, moving forward, we are looking to partner with more game developers to have more content on the device, because I think for every platform, it's true that you need to have both the content, you need to have the device penetration, and then eventually you want to reach the tipping point where the consumers say, hey, I want to have this, I want to try this out. Even for mobile, which is kind of old, so to say, I think Pokemon Go has been kind of a tipping point, at least to get the whole mobile gaming into another sphere. So that's, I think, what everything is about. And we try to have good tools for developers and work with them to achieve this for Daydream. So what are we actually looking for when it comes to Daydream experiences? There's a number of, let's say, criteria, a number of things where we think this is cool on Daydream. This is games or software we would like to see and we would like to support. And this includes, one, games which are better in VR, which are made for VR, which are not a one-to-one port from your average console game or your average mobile game. And this also dovetails with the fact of having a differentiated experience. Meaning, if you just have a 360-degree video, you can also put that on YouTube. You do not need to work with Daydream for this one. But these are the things we're looking for. Also, if you have a game series or if you have a brand, you should stay true to the brand. Probably the consumers will expect the type is something which is very close to your original game if they see your game franchise on Daydream again. So that's basically just like the one-on-one of branding and what consumers expect from a brand. Also, we are looking for experiences which do not leave the overall VR environment, so comes with VR UX. Meaning the menu or whatever you have to control settings and so on should be as intuitive and as possible, and should be more like part of the game instead of being a separate way to control this. Compelling use of input, I think I've talked about the remote control already, so this is ways where we want to encourage developers to use to make the experience as immersive as possible. Then longer sessions. I think this is an interesting topic because Aki just briefly talked about this in his talk. We hope that we get strong content on Daydream which provides long sessions to users. So probably a session where you dive into another world for, let's say, 10 minutes and more, compared to mobile gaming where we're actually saying don't have a session longer than 3 minutes and rather have the users playing many sessions after and after again. But of course, this is just kind of a wish list or kind of ideas. If you have the right content ready, it's always a different question. Obviously, re-engaging experiences are key as well. Like on every other platform, re-engagement metrics are things both developers and platforms are looking for. And last but not least, we're looking for passionate developers who think, hey, let's try this out. We have something for VR. We want to work ideally with Google, and we can talk about this later on in the break or so to see what kind of concepts you have. So having said this, I do know that especially gaming experiences do not always follow every, let's say, rule. So I would rather like to give you this as type of ideas we have for the platform. It's not, let's say, a prescription or so, because probably you want to look at all these things and you want to, let's say, break with a rule on purpose. So I think we and our team are all humble enough to know that we can also not predict the future, and we just need to see what's coming out. And probably there will be 1 or 2 concepts later this year, maybe from people in the room, who are completely different than what we are thinking of as of right now. So please just take this as a guide, as an idea. I think we have all been seeing, also for mobile gaming and other platforms, that there's no real truth out there. At some point, there's just some part of game or some part of software which everybody gets excited about. And at the very end, this is also what we are looking for and what we hope we are seeing on Daydream very soon. So this is all I've got for today. Again, like two main messages also from my side. One, we're looking to have more Daydream-ready phones in the market moving further this year. And also, we are looking forward to ease the whole publishing process for developers on Daydream as well, to make it even more accessible and easy to use. Thank you very much. Sorry? Yeah, I'm okay doing a question. It's another matter whether I can answer, but let's try. Yeah, no, it's good. Yes. No, absolutely.
We haven't got mics to run around with, have we? But we can just shout. Oh yeah, we have. Excellent. We can just wait for the mic. Should possibly ask that question before we got started.
Hey, Tobias. I'm Aaron with Steampunk Digital. So I've been tracking what's been going on with Google VR, VR for Unity, all that stuff. What's the story about Tango and how that could tie into positional tracked VR?
Yeah, very good. That's a question I can answer, actually. Tango is, let's so to say, what Daydream is for VR, Tango is for AR. And at Google, we have a rather successful or non-successful history of running different initiatives which sometimes overlap, right? Because this is all another form of reality, so to say, and we also have the discussion of having mixed reality at some point. So maybe at some point, I really do not know, these initiatives will converge or overlap even more than they do as of now. But for now, what Daydream is for VR, Tango is for AR. Of course, Tango is not that market ready yet, right? I'm talking here about Daydream. We have Daydream devices in the store. We have Daydream ready phones in the market. I think Tango is still in another phase of the overall development. But this is how it would differentiate the platforms. Again, let's see what the future brings.
And let's squeeze in one more. Oh, blimey, now hands going up all over the place. I think the chap with the beard and glasses here was just first. So Cam's got his hand on the button first.
Hiya, I'm Andy from Animation. We specialise in kind of taking computer game technologies and applying them to industry, heavy industry and things like that. So wondering what Google Daydream might bring in an enterprise, commercial, kind of industrial sense, so we could use Daydream with more serious clients in non-game environments. Is that something that Google are hoping to roll out too?
I would say we're looking for all these types of corporations, all for these types of bringing the platform to the next level. But also, I think since we launched this end of last year, it's still very early phase for us as well. So we are learning as well. So that's why we are very much open to have a chat and to find out also what types of offers are out there, what types of projects are out there, and then we see whether it makes sense to work on them or not. I think for now it's a typical Google release, which is launch and iterate, and there's not too much set in stone yet. And we have always been able to change strategy on in a short amount of time.
As we're on the Raptors, he's still a couple of minutes ahead. I think the other hand that went up almost as quick, the lady in the burgundy, if that's a description of that colour. Yeah, if that question's still relevant.
Hi, I'm Zara. I'm from Samsung, so I product manage VR across Europe for them. When we compared your Daydream to us, there was someone overheating, and then we looked online, and that's quite prevalent among a lot of the feedback. How are you going to kind of respond and react to that going forward?
I'm personally not aware of overheating issues, but it's definitely something we're looking into if feedback has been provided. But that's all as I can say for now. I'm not the overheating expert for device. But I mean, so to say, fair enough. I think, and this might also be true for many other devices here, and not only ours, this won't be the last VR device generation for almost every manufacturer or platform out there, except that the platform might decide we do not want to move forward with VR. But yeah.